And we're back again. Excuse me. Yeah, welcome for another night. There's a couple already on. Hello, everyone. We're going to be building some bits and pieces tonight. A couple of sets of the basic Stormtroopers and a set of Scout Troopers. So I just thought I'd stick the stream on while I was building it and have a couple of people to chat to and see where we go. And just sharing it out. That's that. That's that. There we go. And share to them. Cool. I think there we go. Hello, Mr. Ronan. So that's showing on there. How's those? I think the chat's broke again. Nope, it's working. It was just slow. All fixed. Right. So a couple of bits tonight. I'm going to be... I'll move the Death Troopers out of the way. They're the Death Troopers that we were doing. We've had 6 coats on them now. I'm just letting them dry fully because they're still underneath. They're still a little bit damp. So what we've got is lots of bases and 2 sets of Stormtroopers and a set of Scouts. I was doing some work today for a friend and we then came up with a totally better idea for what we're going to do, and guess what? I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to do a full new Hey Hot Stuff, Miss You. Who is Xander then? Come on. Get all these out. They're Stormtroopers, so they're not Scouts. So there should be 7 Scouts. So yeah. AS. Well, I know Andrew Snowden is AS. Who else is AS? As? Not as? No. Right, so Alex Smith. I've got no idea why you've got Xander, but I should have guessed. Right. Hello, Alex. If Alex is there, is this something that you're missing? I'll put it to one side for you, and that's for Lee. So both your cards are there. So, first off, I'll move those up. Oh, where's those bases? I'm going to do them first so they're gluing. And so I don't get them wrong, like every other time that I've done them. I have got some of that on. So find out which way the base sits. Make sure I point it in the right direction. Excuse me. So the usual Gorilla Glue gel in that direction. it's that way. Remove that and put it to one side. Itchy nose. I'm going to get annoyed. So same again. You just put it gently because they're keyed and they only go one way, so you don't want him facing off in that direction. Or experience. Not that I've done it that many times. So super glue gel. Take that off. And then I don't use any zip kicker or accelerator on the bases, because it can make it go a little bit brittle, especially when it's well, it takes a lot of play. Hi, Lucky. Thank you, Alex. By the way, the stream is a monthly stream goal. It's nothing to aim for or anything like that. We've just reset it from the other night. If we reach that before the end of the month, when we reset it, we will do a Wednesday night with a lot of extra bits and pieces on. That's it's not a Wednesday night, so we're not really looking for. But thank you anyway, mate. You're a star. And I hope you've kept my dragons. Right, I'm going to put some glasses on. Hi, LaRock. Right. So. So the plan for the troopers is, if people have seen my Death Troopers that I've done in the black colour scheme, hey Snowy, thanks for coming along. The top one of them, I'll keep them out the way of the glue, is the bottom one's yours, the top one's for Lee. I have them put to one side. As Joe's just listed all of the other stuff on eBay, so all of the magic cards are now up. So make sure they go together. Bit of glue on the spike for the head. Legion and X-Wing. The business took a turn for doing a lot of Legion based stuff. Beanie. We got a request in from one of the players, I won't mention which Darren it was, to do a push for Legion again, see if we could get the player base up and more people interested. That was probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and it's slowly picked up. I think we've got it'll be over 10, between 10 and 15 players now were starting to play on Friday night. So obviously when we all go back to normal, was it about 6 months ago we started it? Wow, doesn't time fly? So yeah, we've had 6 months of doing it, which doesn't seem that long, but yeah, time flies when you're having fun. The change recently was some of the X-Wing players came on board, and we set up a Friday night, an extra night in comparison to what we were already running. Oop, my head's escaped. For players to come and play the skirmish version, which is it's a quicker version. It's more in line with our nightly X-Wing timetable. So on a Friday we alternate now. 1 week it's X-Wing, the next week it's Legion skirmish. And again, we were getting some good numbers just before the fun started. And hopefully when the fun ends, we can go back to that and getting more people on board. I've been talking to another couple of lads either last night or the night before, off the back of one of the streams. They watched us doing the pod, the first parts of the pod, and they were quite interested in coming up to Beanies. They're only in Leeds, so they didn't know Beanies was up here, and they'd just been playing between themselves. So we've got them on board. Hopefully they'll start showing up. Maybe it's not for the Friday nights, but for the Sunday events. We do a Sunday every month to get a full Sunday in, and they rotate between 3 different versions. We have the full 800 point version, which is run as a mini tournament. Then we have the skirmish that can be run as a tournament or however we see at the time. And then we have a way of doing it that is from the 40k side, which is yeah, mine's gone blank. Come on, Snowy. What's that version called? It's themed. We're going to start putting themes into it, and it's more story based. Narrative. That's the big words that I can't think of tonight. Big word. No, don't do big words. So, the 500 point lists have been proving interesting, and also with the 500 point skirmish lists, it's been drawing people in that might not have had the full 800 point to start with. So we got a couple of people on board, got them a 500 point list, they got to try it, and then we went from there. And I'm almost certain that Foxy's got some ready just to build and go. I know Dale's got some. More scenery. I've just had to put that box full of scenery for Legion away for now for Beanie. I just couldn't get round to getting bits of it done at the moment. I'm just trying to get as much done for the streams. Took quite a lot of time just getting bits and pieces sorted. By the way, we hit the 50 follows today, which is absolutely phenomenal. Thanks to, I put it into a couple of groups, T Squadron, Idiots Play 40k, and a few groups like that, and they all stepped up and helped get me the extra followers that I like. So now, another one of the reasons that you're seeing so much in the first week is I've got to do 7 streams, and those 7 streams have got to fulfill certain criteria, so that's why I've been working on it. So the only time that I do struggle with these, so I do use Bob Smith Industries Instaset, but if I was to squirt it on there, it would make a bit of a mess at the moment, so I just use one of the scraper applicators, get a drop on the end and drop it onto where I need it to dry quickly. And for some reason, the strap that I've got held with my nail, thank you Ayrton mate, you're probably over, oh you can't be over on, but if you're over on let me see if I can get the messages over from the other side. No, for some reason I can't. I still need to get interaction between there we go, Facebook and this sorted out properly, so we're not getting all of the messages through all of the time. So anyway, the idea that we had is I bought a set of just a huge bulk lot of Legion just before all of this started. No Droidicas, because Droidicas, yeah. I'll make you a deal. Who is the flying ferret? Come on, or not? I'd have probably gone with Jolien. Joel, or is it the person that ended up getting my Droidicas? Oh, shut up, Alex. Yes, I mentioned two. So, Jolien. Sure. Yeah. Ferret, where it, yeah, it was there somewhere. So I'll make you a deal. You buy me a box of the horrible things, and I will build them on live stream. I will have to do it after 9 o'clock. Ooh. Ah, right. You'll have to excuse me. Is rugby that one that people play with the odd-shaped balls? Stormtroopers. Anyway, back to the Stormtrooper idea was from my customer. No, because the Americans play the same one as well, don't they? But they throw it more. Super glue. I love super glue. So yes, the idea from my customer was when these are finished. Let's see if I can get it. People said the close-up worked really well, so let's go closer, 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 closer. There we go. And zoom. No. No, no, no. Hi, Kay. Hope's all well with you, mate. So, this is the Chrome Death Troopers that we did the other day. Hi, Sarah. Now, that is the Death Trooper, and it started to build up with Nullin, but where it goes black, it's got a really, really nice metallic, if you can see it just there. The black goes really nice and really metallic. So, my customer wants these fellas doing in the same way. So he's already got a set of the Death Troopers off, mate. And now wants a set of Stormtroopers. And a set of Scouts, a set of Stormtroopers. Scouts, Stormtroopers, and a set of bikes, all doing in the same colour scheme, but with some slight changes. we picked up, as I was saying, we picked up a set of Imperials, and some of them were black and had red accents, and the red accents looked very nice, very much like how, well, they're pretty much how I'm going to paint the Iden Verso and all of her squad from the Inferno squad colours, so very similar to that, but obviously on the Stormtroopers and the Scouts beforehand. It does take, it's probably one of the lengthier ones that we do. Too much. Hi Titch. So this is why we use the gel. You put it into the hole, it doesn't run everywhere, it doesn't fall everywhere. You can, if you can see that, it sits in like a little lump on the end of the feet. And goes out like that. And one of them. Hi Jack. Bits of glue. Sit. And another one. I'll be picking the glue off my fingers for days. So Jack, we are doing a whole load of troops in the same way that I do Death Troopers. One of my customers has asked for it. So we're doing a squad of Stormtroopers, a squad of Scout Troopers, and a squad of Bike Troopers in the black system, in the the black, I don't know what to call it, black chrome, dark chrome. Death Troopers. Oh, come on. This one doesn't want to stick. There we go. And their bikes. 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 4 left. It isn't. It's one of my customers from down south. I will actually ask him if I can mention his name on the next stream. I don't know if he wants me to. I know he watches the streams back at certain points, obviously, to see how his stuff got painted and what we were doing. He's a question for the people that build and make stuff. GW or Legion. What's your preferred type of product? Is it the packets and the super glue way of doing it, or is it the sprue and the normal glue? Sorry, and the contact glue, the plastic glue, sorry. I'm surprised at that. Too much glue in there, so I'm gonna take some of the glue out of that one and use it on the end to go into that one. And the reason there's another squad is we're going to do one of the sets just to put up on eBay. Yeah, the sprues so far, I'm trying to think, have they had much choice? They do have, let's go back. Come on. Nope, down a bit late. So, if I can show you, there is a mould line across his head. You're not gonna be able to see that. Or can you? There's the mould line. You can just see a dark patch. There's a mould line there. There's normally one down the arms, and then sometimes down the leg. There it is there. But it's, as an example, has Joe taken all the sharp objects away from me again? So, doing the shoulder pad. Gone. So that it's not that much of an issue. And there we go again. I still haven't got a remote. I looked at the remote, but I can't find one that does the zoom. So at the moment, he's stuck with me doing it by hand. If we do have any photographers in the chat, yeah, it is normally quite a bald head, so yes, the mould line. I've bathed today, so the mould line has come off for the time being. Love you, Kay. And I fixed your... Did you notice I fixed your advert? Thanks to Foxy for reminding me. And a big shout out to Foxy today. He gave us a couple of things to fix on the stream that I'd missed. I do have issues with certain things like spelling. No matter what anyone tells me, half the time when I see that something that's spelt wrong, my brain just tells me it's fine and to stop worrying. There's nothing wrong with it. Hi Lee, do you miss us annoying you all the time? Who's Titch? It'll just stay there, mate. The bits and pieces that you've sent me to do these streams, I know I've been a bit behind on getting them done, so I've got quite a few of your bits. Oh, that Titch, sorry. You can now hit him because he gave the game up. Thank you for joining us, you two. I was actually going to guess at Chris. It just seemed like a Chris sort of name. Yes, I've guessed. Thank all three of you for coming on. It's, wow, 24 viewers. 22 viewers. I've got two different things. I know it's just me sat gluing some bits of plastic together, but as I've said before, I do miss you guys. When I used to do RC stuff, Snowy, I used to. And I know it makes it go off quicker. Very much like the Instaset. No, Jack, it is a... super glue sets quicker with saliva. So the other one is if I can't actually reach my accelerator. That's priceless stuff, by the way. As you know, we do this, I would say professionally, but I do it quite often. So that's a 60 milliliter bottle, and I probably go through the big bottle, which fills that one, which is 250 ml, and I'll go through one of them every 2-3 months, just because of the amount of super glue stuff that we set with it. It's a time saver, but it can also, like, the reason I didn't do it on those bases is because I'm not getting into that, Jack. But sorry, if you insta-set that and smash everything all over, it can sometimes weaken it. Insta-set goes a little bit brittle. So yeah, licking stuff at the moment is definitely not the right practice. You're quite right. The other thing is, if you are right, let's see if I've got something that I could. So say I was painting this Space Wolf. I would never really paint Space Wolves. This is nothing but, is it a Space Wolf or Captain, or I think I was doing it as a Space Wolf. So baking soda fills the gaps. It's like a filler. So yeah. So if you were going to put this onto, say, a scenic base, but wanted to paint it all up first, you super glue it to the normal base, but you use Instaset. So you glue onto the feet like I have been doing there, Instaset onto that, squash it on while the Instaset's wet. For painting and stuff like that, it stays where it is. But when you come to change it from that to a stone base or a bit of a rocky outcrop, like that sort of thing, rather than it being absolutely set in stone, you just snap it off, and it does come off with a lot less effort than normal. Yes, correct, mate. A lot of people use it as a gap filler. So if you've got something like gaps, like when I did that, there was a gap in his chest. I used my what did it? That putty. So I used Vallejo plastic putty to fill the gap. A lot of people will use thin super glue and baking soda to fill the gap, because you put the super glue on and then sprinkle baking soda and it covers the gap. Yep, super glue definitely goes brittle with freezing. It actually expands some of the molecules inside of it, but not all super glue goes brittle like that. There is the good quality super glue doesn't. So if the people that made it use the cheap super glue, then you then get moisture build up in it. Yeah. Snowy, have you ever tried the Gorilla Glue gel? Because it doesn't go everywhere. I've managed to get some on my fingers, but that was me touching the bottle lid. But even that, it doesn't come off, it stays on. And then drop it on, and it goes off pretty much, he says, pretty much straight away. I've never tried the boys' stuff, so I wouldn't know. Um, 12. Cheers, mate. 12 bottles for 17 quid off. I think it was Amazon, one of the special offers that they had on. It came up in one of the voucher sites, and I bought I think I bought 2 or 3 lots, so I've got a small stockpile for the moment. Oh, that's in. Did that one go in all the way? Yep. So that was pretty easy. 40 minutes to do them. Now the fun ones. I've got 2 of these to do as well. And my fingers are already going dead. Yeah, I managed to burn myself with the soldering iron fixing one of the printers. I managed to clog a printer. Didn't do the clever thing and check on the interwebs of how to fix the clogged printer. Just went at it with usual Dalton finesse and managed to do more damage. So I had to replace the complete heat head on it. And fitting the new heat head, I managed to drop. It wasn't far off hitting it with the hammer at one point. I really got wound up with it. I just put the wrong one back. I did. Cool. And obviously they are quite delicate. They're not a tractor size thing that you can hit with hammers. Yeah. So the bigger hammer theory doesn't always work. It just makes a lot more bits. Then you have to fix it with a new one. So I ended up doing a lot more damage than good. Then rebuilt it, and then found out that the way I was unclogging it was wrong. So yeah, I ended up going down the route of putting a £40 print head onto it, and it didn't need it. And then it was today, when I've looked into it, I've managed to work out that there's an easy way of unclogging them. Who would have thought it? So, like that. Oop. Yeah, that's just the right way around. Is it the right way around? No. Shh. You didn't say that. There we go. Nothing to see here. It's not like I haven't built loads of these either. And they go that way. Duct tape I agree with. So they go on in a bit, and the guns. Having built a few of these before, and I knew some bits don't go on just yet. So another way is a little bit of glue on a card sleeve, just enough on to hold it in place, and in it goes. A bit more delicate. And same again. And you don't get it everywhere. Let's see if so they're the front bits, and oh, these are such a joy to put these bits on. So I do have a pair of tweezers somewhere. So I use the end of the tweezer. I should use a cocktail stick or something like that. I'll just fill that little groove there with the super glue, and then a bit in there where that is going into, and then come on, fit like that. Right, so just up in there hasn't actually filled properly. It's a little bit far away. So see, with that, it's not fully seated right. So a little fill with the super glue. Yeah, I'll do a bit of so just a touch of the accelerator to set it, and then the same again. So what's everyone's plans for the weekend? I hope people have got lots of hobby stuff on the tables. I'm guessing Snowy's doing loads of big brush stuff. And then in there again. Yeah, I think staying in's a good idea at the moment. I was hoping for some yeah, stuff like that. Painting a bloody stupid... Who puts stupid competitions on like that? Hey, it was your idea as much as mine. I don't know if you've seen, Dave, but on the Beanies page we started a painting competition. You need to do a picture of it before you start, like in primer or that sort of stuff, and a picture after you've finished it for Sunday, and we're going to have a bit of a competition. I'm hoping oh, poor rattler. It's nice to see you back, mate. Well, there's no big prizes for it, but I've managed to knock something up that I've not told. Well, Snowy's seen it, but that there's a little something for the winner. And you lot get to decide the winner anyway. So don't be telling people what you're painting. It's all hush hush and quiet. I did that wrong. So these are angled and they can be a pain. So again with the gel snowy. The gel actually like semi sucks it on to hold it in place. What's going on? One side's higher than the other. Did I actually miss? I did. There we go. Perfectly level. And I'm going to give that a quick skirt down here. So that's just to seal that tip. Make sure it doesn't fall off. Yeah, what we're going to do is all of the photos come to myself for this one. Then I get a picture of both before and after. I don't let on to anyone who's painted what. We're going to put it up in the beanies group. And then you lot get to vote on it. So, for this next bit, I've seen people struggle with this. Is the pedals. So, on the bottom, there is a line. Just that. There's a load of ridges, then a flat line, and then a little ridge. So you can see roughly where it should go. So it sits there just like that. Again, with a super glue, I can just run a dabble across that. Sit it on and pushing his bum as close to the bottom as possible. Get the position it needs to be. Now, because this will move, and I don't want it to, and it's the last bit to do, I don't mind using the activator. So, a bit of a squirt. It does go everywhere, and if you've got other stuff to glue, then it's not the best time to do it. Again, this guy on. Make sure he is seated properly. There we go. And again. Miss you too, Salty. I see you on Facebook every day. It always brightens my day up when I get to see you and what you're doing. So, I'll put the glue back away. Clean the nozzle. The other good place to get Gorilla Glue gel from is when you can get in there. Places like Asda and Tesco sometimes have them on special offer. It'll come up and it'll be buy one get one free or something like that. But I would recommend it. And even to you, Snowy, give it a try, see what it's like. B&Q, yeah, I very rarely go in B&Q because Joe does all of the DIY around the house. So that is about an hour's work, doing 2 bikes, 2 squads of Stormtroopers, a squad of Scouts, and that basically goes down to half a core set. Obviously there's no Vader, but the Scout troops are a little bit longer than Vader, so an hour to build it. I've done quite a few, so it is quite a we've got used to it by now, and we know which bits to squeeze and which bits you can throw together quite easy. Roughly how many points, including the whole thing there, including the Death Troopers? Let's have a look. So when you play, your squad of Stormtroopers has a leader and has 3 troops with him. So that is your squad that you pay. Not many. It's round about 50 points for them. Tabletop Admiral. Not tabletop TO. All the cards have the costs on, but some costs have been changed and move up and down. But when you add Stormtroopers, so 40, I thought there were 46, but 44 points for 4 Stormtroopers, including one leader. You then get the option to add, Tabletop Admiral. I've been using Tabletop TO for the overlays and stuff like that, so that's why I went to the wrong one. So an extra Stormtrooper that can be added in. If you look on the cards, you can add 1 standard Stormtrooper and 1 heavy. A standard Stormtrooper is not there. Personnel, there it is. A standard Stormtrooper is 11 points. I should have realised that, 44 and 11. So 55 points to that. Then you get the choice of a heavy weapon. The heavy weapon can either be the DLC or the rocket launcher, or if you've got the upgrade packs, there's another couple. And then things like stuff that's coming out. On Tabletop TO now, it shows Del Meeko and Gideon Hask joining the squad as well. So the H-12, which is the rocket launcher, is 26 points. The DLT is 24 points. So if I put the most expensive one in, which is the rocket launcher, and all of the troops, you get a standard squad of 81 points. Double it for 162. But then you've got options to put gear on, so they can all equip tactical scopes, grappling hooks, environmental gear, emergency stims, recon, intel, and binoculars, which range from 2 points to 12 points, emergency stims being 12 points and stuff like that. So as a standard, it's going to be about, that's 80. If we put 2 rocket launchers in, 162. 2 bikes. The bikes aren't that much. The bikes, I think they're 75, yeah. So if you put a comms on, which normally is the long range comm link, or the HQ uplink, one of the two. I was using the HQ uplink, which is 10 points. So that's 85 points. A scout squad, so the scout snipers, which are them two, are a little separate unit. They're really good. They come in just shy of 100 points. They're fully kitted. I think they come to about 80 points. So the strike team, you have to add a heavy weapon, which is the sniper. Even just leaving them two on their own, they're 50 points. So we'll leave them without anything. 50 points. We're up to 295. Add the normal scout trooper set in, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And I can, if I put the sonic charge saboteur in, which is that one, that gives me a 86 point squad. So not too bad. Without the Death Troopers, 381. With the Death Troopers, with a heavy weapon, we'll put the DLT 190 in, 19D in, sorry, and that's 110. That, obviously, there's no leader there, but that little lot there, ATST now, that little lot there is 500 points, so technically a skirmish size thing. You could probably drop a, if you're doing skirmish, standard Andy, there we go, you need a commander and you need to drop one of the, you either have to drop one of the scout troops or one of the death troops. So probably those scout, if you remove those scouts and you can't add a Vader, probably a Vias. What's FET? 140? Let's have a play around. 140. Remove the 2 rocket launchers, because who needs rocket launchers? So take the 2 rocket launchers out. Take these guys out. So that all the scouts come out. Death Troopers. Not grenade. Take that one out. So 1 heavy. Put Mr. Fett in. Leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the rocket out. So that is Death Troopers 4 or 5. Seems a lot of Death Troopers. Death Trooper comes standard with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And did I put a heavy in? And the heavy, which is him. Yep. So that little group, there with no upgrades other than the comlink for these fellas and the extra trooper for these and the sniper for that. That is 493 points with Boba Fett leading them. Boba Fett leading them is something that we've been playing. He's not a leader, he's an operative, but we've been playing around with allowing operatives in skirmish to change it up a bit. But there's other 100 points that for round about the same. There is Vias, Krennic, Iden Versio when he comes out, which I think will be the go-to commander for a while, because he looks quite nice. That sniper team. Most people buy the scouts just for the sniper team because it's a 50 points team if you don't add anything to it. The droids, I've got nearly everything that I need for Imperial, and the droids came along and I was instantly, yep, I'm going to play droids. I love the look of them. And then I built up Droideka. I loved building that Droideka. I built 2 Droidekas. Yes, an Imperial officer. I do like Vias for the extra 30, just so you have access to his cards. That start of the game, dropping a 3 dice attack onto someone can be quite interesting. There's so much, and I went down the route of Imperials, saw the droids, tried to build the droids. The droids did my head in. I then thought, right, no. In X-Wing, I play Imperial and I play a little bit of First Order, but my 2 main ones are Galactic Republic and First Order, and Galactic Empire. So I just thought about doing exactly the same in Legion as well. So I ended up acquiring a core set, and then I've got the tanks, and I've got a couple of other bits and pieces. Phase 2 clone troopers, and they're all sat waiting to be done as well. But work comes first. Yeah, we had to deal with it last year as well. It was leaked last year. Everyone at first thought it was real, and obviously the mouse had his way and got certain people had to remove it from their pages because obviously copyright and all that sort of stuff. And those pages actually got shouted at. So, right, let's have a quick look. And so the scouts have set pretty much, and what I'll do now is I'm going to change my glasses to go into super close mode. And then start looking for the mold lines. So across the head. So if people saw a stream I did a while ago with a hero click figure, they are quite used to me using one of these, and you've now got bits in the gaps and stuff like that that you can't get to. So brass wire brush, just gently it also highlights if you did miss any, a little bit anyway. But some of these you're never going to get all of the mold line off. It's very awkward as well because there is a piece that there's a mold line and a piece that should, if they'd got the mold line down that piece, it would have been perfect. Well, right, that's where that mold line is there. Back of his glove. See, they're not always that bad. That just came off, no problem. They've got that down the arm, right down there, and there we go. One done. I think the helmet's the main one. It's right on the top, everyone can see it. Gun. So that goes down the side of his hand there as well. In some of the softer plastics, right, there's a big one there, you can actually get away with just using a wire brush. I can't remember which manufacturer it was, but one of them, I cleaned up most of the models just by doing that, and it was soft enough just to remove the that's got two down the side. What the, yeah, it took the mold line straight off just with a wire brush. Pound shop, by the way, you get a big one. You get three different types. You get a brass, a plastic, and a steel one. Don't use the steel one. And there it is. I knew there was one on the shoulder somewhere. wait to start painting these. There we go. God, that. With us using a wash to paint these mold lines will show up really, really annoyingly. So getting them off now. Have a lot of heartache when I finally look at them and find all of the lines after I've painted them. We finished the dewbacks today. They are just about ready to go up on the web on the eBay store. The red ones. I've got them sorted. I've got the photos done. I just haven't had a chance to get them listed. I'm trying to get the rest of the subs and everything sorted on this. Once we got the 50 followers, again thank you everyone, we then got the ability to add a couple of bits in the background just to help us out. It opened up one of the analytics panels. It's just bits and pieces. Later on, once I've done, I have to do 7 streams in a month, hence why we've been doing one a day, and probably will keep doing one a day till that's satisfied as well. I think we've just hit the last one, which was stream for over 8 hours, which this will be. I think we were 15 minutes short at the start of this one, so again thank you. We're trying to, obviously we're keeping an eye and speaking to Rasta so we don't overlap. Whenever Rasta streams on our stream, we'll host his stream for him, and we won't be on at the same time. We are also going to start doing some reviews. Obviously it won't be on the live stream. We spoke to Gamers Grass. They've been very interested in some of the work we've been doing. All of our products, everything that we send out, everything that we paint, we use their tufts for. They've been really good. When they first set up, the tufts were nothing. I think they were £1.50 for a strip, and back then I just bought absolutely stacks of them. And we spoke to them last week after I put a note. I was halfway through some work for someone and ran out of one of them, and even during this time they've managed to get the product sent over and delivered within a couple of days of us asking for it. So it was absolutely phenomenal service. And what we're going to do is they've just set, well, they are just setting us up an account, so we're going to be selling the product from ProTech as well. And some of the products that we use and some of the products that I really enjoy and really like, we're going to actually sell ourselves. We'll talk with the companies that are doing them. There's a couple of products that we're really interested in the moment. Army Painter have got a medium coming out that a few people have been talking about. For from what we can tell, it's like a just an airbrush medium to allow their paints to go through an airbrush. It'd be interesting to see how it works across the board, whether it works on other paints just as much as it does on their stuff, or whether it is just formulated for their stuff. What sort of paints do people use? I've seen people talk about Vallejo, Army Painter, GW. Is there anything different? GW from Alex, sorry. I've got a set of the Forge World powders somewhere, I think. I'm almost certain I do. I know I've got their I've got quite a lot of their clears, which I know are worth a pretty penny, and we use their clears a lot. So that, oh, I'm going to take them off for a minute. A bit of show and tell. So that was Vallejo Chrome, and was it Vallejo Chrome or was that the gold? That was the gold. That is Vallejo Liquid Gold, Forge World's Angron Red, and I think I've got like 4 or 5 of them hidden away, stashed for a rainy day, or for when we do stuff like this, because it's come out absolutely beautiful. The clears that GW did are absolutely fantastic, especially over the gold, and then we did the same over a silver for the blue, for a couple of fire sprays that I'm going to paint up at some point. Might even do these ones on air. And I use it for visors and stuff like that. I've got a couple of the green ones that I use on them for the input. A dot of use Vallejo Chrome, the air chrome, to do a certain spot, and then you put the clear over it and it just pops. They are very interested in Rattler. It's just GW stopped doing them. So from what I can remember, the fire sprays. Yes, it was just one of those things, playing around with those 2 paints. I'm thinking of doing the red one as Cath Scarlet, but having the metallic red showing through. So they are just done in the metallics and then a wash, a null-in wash over the top of them to start with, and then see where they go from there. But I'm thinking of a metallic Cath Scarlet, and then a matching Cosca Frost, but obviously do the whitey grey for the patchwork on that. But I was going to do a bluey grey, like an ice blue grey, for obviously Cosca Frost. So see how they turn out. Other stuff that I've been working on. I've still got R2 and C3PO to do. We've had a bit of a busy week sorting out finances and all the banks and all that sort of stuff this week. So I've got, obviously, there's a Boba Fett kicking about to do. I did manage to get quite a lot done this week, believe it or not, paint-wise. And then I've got this Vader to do. Should we have a... The detail on this Vader is phenomenal. It's one of the Gen Con ones. So when you get these, I don't think the foam's in the box. All of these bits, the rocks, are all separate and they glue in. It's like each one of them's a separate rock. And then all of the arm, the head, the legs and everything that's separate, in the actual box there was a foam cutout, and each one of those bits was in its own foam cutout, including each individual bit of rock was in its own foam hole. Yeah, LaRoche, it's great for our ProTech models that's been running for a few years, but unfortunately we only started ProTech painting a year ago, and we didn't make any money in the first year. We actually lost money in the first year with the setup. Some of the things like the stream camera, the new compressor, and a load of the paint work. We stumped up the cash up front, and we've still not fully paid all of that back yet. That put us into negative for the first year of trading, which means we don't get much. Yeah, I think us moving to the stream, getting some work done on the stream, trickling some, we've sorted out a way of posting, so we're not shutting the shop. We obviously understand that the amount of work that we're going to get and the work that we're doing has massively dropped off. We're not getting the orders that we were getting. A couple of good friends have been ordering stuff, so not too bad a problem. And hopefully from the back of that we can... My idea is to sit while I can, get as much work done as I can, and build the stream, build the painted product, get as much painted product onto the shop and onto eBay, and use this downtime or quiet time to get a bit ahead for when we eventually come through this. We will get through it, and then hopefully people will get back to the hobby and start having fun again. And I think Legion's going to be one of those big ones that should do us quite well. So I've got one of them left to do. Them will sort off the stream before we finish up for the night, because it was just a short one for tonight. Yeah, it's a good idea. Get stuff built, get stuff painted, get it prepared to go on for when people have money and time. A lot of the money at the moment is getting spent on basically stuff like this that people want to paint. They don't want to sit, they can't play with the stuff at the moment, so they're not buying pre-painted as much. So having stock for when we come through this might be a... Yeah, unless you got 30,000 toilet rolls and you can sell them for a £5 each, then you're laughing. And we get to do new designs for... We did a couple of new designs today for the paint masks. I might do a demo of the paint masks on Wednesday. Yeah, Sneak, mate. My stocks of Sneak are running low. I'm getting attacked by a fly. Send us some Sneak. Hello. Oh. I'm good, thank you. I'm just about to finish up. That was Minnie Muff coming in to see if I wanted anything. She's a good one. Don't tell her that. So, again, she just ran upstairs. We might do one of these over the weekend again. Just another quick one. I might let you see how these are getting on. The Death Troopers should be done. I'm gonna try and get another coat of wash onto them tonight. Get all of these sprayed up. Get the first coats of wash onto them, and hopefully get these sorted for my customer. And then I might do painting Bosk tomorrow. The only problem with painting Bosk is he's so bright. Can I... If I do a close-up, you can all see my super dodgy painting skills with fine detail. Yeah, I might do some of that tomorrow, as long as Rasta's not on, because I don't know what they're doing this weekend, so I'll have a chat with them tomorrow. Right, thank you everyone for watching tonight. Thank you for the donations again, guys. That was absolutely fantastic. As I say, we will do we'll do a big giveaway, a monthly giveaway, if we hit that before the end of the month again. And if anyone wants to see anything, if anyone wants to see specifics, a painted Boba, a painted Vader, things like painting a fast Vader, I could probably do a Vader in an hour, just doing a quick version of the paintwork, showing you how that works. Obviously not wanting to do a quick paint job on that one. We've got plenty of stock ready to go. Just give us a shout if you want to see stuff. Just let us know, and we will end it there. Again, thank you everyone, and I'll catch you for the next one.